coming to the stage is awesome. She's an up-and-comer. Make some noise for Joanna Rapoza, everybody. Let her hear it. Joanna Rapoza. Everybody, let's keep it going for our wonderful MC and all these really funny people here tonight. Giving me a lot of competition. All right, so I have to mention Jerry Sandusky, right? He left his big sports career behind, so to speak. But don't worry, because he's going to be studying to become, believe it or not, a pediatric dentist. That's right. That's right. That's because he enjoys filling children's cavities so much. Yeah. He's always enjoyed drilling kids in the mouths. I know. So anyways, I was not going to tell anybody this, but I figured, what the hell, you kind of need to know this in order to understand where I'm coming from. 2 days ago, I actually turned, I don't even want to say it, but the big 5-0. So, and I'm not doing it just to get applause, but but it helps you understand things like when I tell you a couple weeks ago I actually pulled a muscle in my right ass playing Wii bowling. I suppose it could have been a little bit more pathetic. I could have been playing Wii shuffleboard. But you know, it's pretty bad when so many people in your graduating high school class are dead already that you don't need a reunion, you need a seance. I swear to God, I see dead people in my email contact list. I'm so crippled with my fear of death and people dying on me. I've never been able to watch horror movies, anything about the Holocaust, or even Keith Richards. But I am oddly fascinated with nuclear holocaust for some reason. I've been obsessing for months about that tsunami that hit Japan earlier this year and wrecked that nuclear power station, and I think I know exactly what the problem was with those reactors that blew up in Japan. Yeah, made in China. So, I don't know, I'm at this point in my life where I suffer from female middle-aged moodiness, and I don't like to call it bitchiness, I call it estrogen free-falling, because it's kind of like effing this and effing that, EFF for short. And my kid told me he wanted 50 cents for every F word that came out of my mouth. To which I replied, are you effing kidding me? I would have to do direct deposit. You really hate to think of your moods as being so chemical-based. Then you crack open a beer and you say, yeah, I can see that. My husband, though, I'm sure he's really, really tired of listening to all of my complaining. He's even come up with a name to describe my personal style of communication. He calls it stream of semi-consciousness. So I tend to obsess about life and death situations. There was a story in the news not too long ago about a Domino's pizza delivery woman who went out of her way to save the life of an old woman that lived alone. And I just keep waiting to hear Domino's and Life Alert getting together. I mean, it's a natural business relationship, right? At the very least, they can have some really fun commercials. I've fallen, and I can't choose a topping. I'm lactose intolerant. What do you suggest? Is there still free Pepsi for folks on dialysis? Oh, another big problem in this country, folks. The dumbing down of America. It is real. And it hit home for me recently. I was driving in my car listening to public radio, like I do a lot. Usually the people are smart. But I could not believe it when 3 people in a row, 3 complete idiots in a row, called into the show I was listening to. When do they get phones in Alabama? Oh my God, their kids down there must be so ignorant they probably think fellatio is a romance language. Well, that would be one way to get an A on the oral exam. But never mind dumb high school kids down there. We've got some scary younger kids up here. I live in Connecticut, and this is no lie. But in a town not far from where I live, last year, at a 9th grade dance, 2 kids actually had sex on the dance floor. What is that? I mean, what, the backseat of a car isn't good enough for these kids anymore? They're just too friggin' lazy to even step off the dance floor to go screw. And how does this even happen? How does this even happen when there's adult chaperones there? I mean, I guess they were over by the bleachers, and they couldn't really see what was going on. You know I'm dating myself, but when I was a kid, in school, we actually had square dances. We've gone from promenade to penetrate. So, I'm Jewish, but I've always been oddly comforted by Christian music, and I recently figured out why. I think it's something that's deeply ingrained in Jewish DNA, based on centuries of listening to the sound of Christian music playing. You hear that? They're busy. We're safe. My husband was raised Catholic, and he's a huge sports nut. We have a mixed marriage, Judaism and hockey. Our son plays the game. He's been playing for years. He spends a lot of time in the penalty box. So when I'm praying, it's usually at the rink and not at the temple. But when I do go to the temple, it's very hard for me to keep my mouth shut. Our rabbi was recently telling a tragic story about a poor man who had to sleep naked overnight on a mountaintop for money to pay for his family's Sabbath meal. And all I wanted to say was, hey, at least he didn't have to do porn for Coke. Let me just leave you with one thought for the night. Wouldn't it be ironic if someday Michael Vick ends up an old cripple who needs a service dog? I'm Joanna Rapoza. Thanks very much.